Commercial real estate, guys. Commercial real estate is one of the best tools that you can use to make money. Okay, so you guys understand something. We have a license by DBPR and the Real Estate Commission that allows us to do rentals, sales, commercial real estate, and investments. Now let's get into investments and selling. You guys also have the opportunity to do one of two things. One is called service. When you are helping somebody buy, sell, lease, whether it's commercial or residential, that's called service. But why should you guys not do investment as well too? Not only should you know investments, all right, not only for yourself to be able to become an investor, okay, you have the tools, you got the licensing, but also to help other investors that do come in that are not licensed. So you're doing two things. One is called service for others. Two, it's called investments. You guys should watch my investment classes. They're right online. You can see it through our Partnership Realty's library. Phenomenal class. But also here, we're talking about commercial real estate today. Why should you guys not do commercial real estate? Is there an additional license needed? No. You know what you do need? Knowledge. You got the license by DBPR, by Division of Real Estate. Okay? DRE gave you the license. So did DBPR. But what did they not give you? Knowledge about commercial real estate. Do you know how many entrepreneurs there are throughout the entire state of Florida, actually throughout the entire US of A? So people are renting, for example, warehouses. They're renting locations, like one realtor this morning. She's closing on a deal right this morning as we speak of, and it's called a multi-service center. And she's doing a really good deal, making very nice commission on that one there, because she's renting it out for, I think it's like 5 years. So that's pretty good. 5-year commission. The math, they pay you for the full 5 years. All right? So commercial real estate, let's talk about this. Partnership Realty, you guys know it's a one flat fee. Just wanted to run that by you guys one more, because the people that are watching this here, we are a true 100% commission. We don't have any monthly fees or desk fees or stuff like that. And definitely no 80-20, 70-30s or anything of that nature. Now, what should I know about, how to begin on a commercial deal? Well, one thing that you've got to know is, and I think this is the most important right up front. Well, first of all, do you know that a commercial deal does not need to be put in the MLS? Now, let me ask you guys a question. A residential deal, within how many days must it be in the MLS? 2 days. Okay, you need to be in compliance. It's got to be in there within 2 days. If not, you're probably going to get a fine. You're probably going to get a fine. Does a commercial deal need to be put into the MLS? Yes or no? No. All right? So you don't, even though now they took away commissions from the MLS report, this is nothing new. In the commercial real estate, it's always been like that, because it's not even in there. So you always have to ask the realtor, hey, what's the compensation that is being paid? So a lot of real estate agents, I remember with the NAR and the DOJ, when they were settling things back in 2024, a lot of them were freaking out because, oh my God, I have to ask what compensation they're being paid. Well, in commercial real estate, since it's not in the MLS, guess what? You still have to ask, what is my compensation? Then I'm going to ask you guys on different forms of compensation, okay? You guys got to know what a base rate is. You guys have to know what a CAM is. Okay, common area maintenance. The property taxes that have to get paid sometimes per year, and insurance. If there is assigned parking or not, very important for your tenants. Very important. Restricted parking, assigned, open parking, how important. The zoning, holy jeez, that's important. But that can be changed. We're going to talk about that today, okay? And if you want to see, I'm going to give you guys a tip, because a lot of realtors are saying, oh, geez, well, how do I know if I could open up a daycare there or not? Well, look around you. If there's any other daycares right next to you or right a few blocks down the road, you can open up a daycare, okay? If there are no daycares in the surrounding area, guess what you can't open there? A daycare. That's just one example, okay? So there are different uses. We have to find out, because we need to look out for our client, what is called retail space. Retail space can be, you know, for example, I don't know, a professional, not really, yeah, a professional building, a professional office. It could be a beauty salon, it could be a daycare, it could be a real estate office, it could be a mortgage company, it could be numerous things, you know, a grocery store, stuff like that, okay? A pizza parlor, you know, anything like that, restaurant, where public is going to be walking in. Now you got storefront, and then you've got other spaces that are available towards the back of the shopping center. Which one of the two do you think is more valuable, that the base rate is going to be higher? Because storefront is that thousands of people are driving by and they're seeing what? Your business, the name, and what the use is, what you're offering, you know, what your company offers, you know. But how about the people that are all the way in the back? Which one of the two? Some business don't need to be storefront. Others need to be where? Somewhere in that particular location, because it's a very easy location to come in and get out to. And it's a location where there are other surrounding business in the same shopping center that is going to complement one to another. Okay? Industrial, commercial warehouses, light industrial. You guys have heard of like office warehouses, you know? And there's a big difference between this and this here. Commercial warehouses, it just depends on what's going in there. It could be like, for example, granite shops. Nobody wants granite shops in there because the mess they make, the water, the spill, you know, cabinet shops, you know, carpentry shops. There are many things that are coming in there, and it could be a logistics. Logistics does not need a logistics center, does not need, okay, a storefront, because all they've got is incoming deliveries, correct, and then outgoing shipments. So there's where your commercial, and that could be located anywhere. I've done deals in Indiantown. Indiantown's, how far is Indiantown from here? About 30 minutes away. Not that far. Indiantown, Belle Glade. I have taken, knowing the need of my clients, I have taken them to where I think will be the best facility. Indiantown Road will take you clear across to the West Coast. So will Southern Boulevard. Belle Glade, you're going to cross right through it. Go to South Bay, get Highway 27, and it's going to take you you know, into the West Coast, and also will take you straight up north as well too. So you need to know these things. Residential income is called a multifamily. That's commercial. Like what we're doing on Friday. Are we going to a rental community? That's commercial. Land. Land, where you've got nurseries, parking spaces where people park all of their trucks and things like that, you know, large equipment. There you go. Mixed use. Well, mixed use could be numerous things. Have you guys seen mixed use in many places, which is very common nowadays? The bottom floor is a storefront. Okay, retail. How about the top? It's residential. Residential. Okay. The value. I get calls all the time. How do I do a CMA? Boy, That one's a tough one. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do a CMA on a property, okay? See, there aren't enough of those sales going around, and maybe there are some that we could do CMAs, like in certain areas like Doral. Doral, there's a lot of warehouses being sold, and now you're able to see by the square footage what they're being sold for, how long they were on the market, conditions, and what they have to offer. Easy CMA. But how about a church? Guys, churches, are you kidding me? Churches are huge sellers. The demand for a church, you guys have no clue. You guys have no clue on that. I have a realtor here sitting today that works with churches, buys and sells and helps sell churches. We have one of our realtors that's getting 11 churches in the next month or so. Okay, they're huge organization out of Texas, and they want to sell them here in South Florida. 11 churches they're going to sell. So I would want to market those. You guys have no idea the money. Okay, yep. Look, Lewis knows. Okay, you guys have no idea the money on that. All right. So let's go to base rate. What is the base rate? That's basically what you get paid on. You need to know that. Someone's going to tell you, well, the full monthly rent is $3,000. Don't think that your commission is going to be on the $3,000, because in that $3,000 there will be CAM. There also will be Florida internal revenue taxes. You can't get paid on that. You're going to get paid on the base rate. Now, depending on which one of all the different types of commercial real estate that I just went over, okay, it could be something like a commercial warehouse starting at $8 a square foot, $10, $30, $60. And I mean, it keeps going up and up from there. Prime locations where it's very expensive, big demand, things like that, you're talking huge. But guess what? Once you focus into that, what are you going to be making? Some huge what? Commissions. Huge commissions. Here, yeah, you're making a commission. I would prefer to get a commission here, wouldn't you? At $60 a square foot. So the way they do it is, let's say the location is 150 feet wide by 75 in depth. Maybe that's a bad example, but it's nothing more than an example. It says it right there, example only. So what you'll do is you'll multiply the 150 by the 75 gives you 11,200 square feet, correct? Then you'll take the 11,200 square feet, multiply by $8 base rate, gives you what? $90,000 per year. Now you got to take the $90,000 and divide that by how many months are in the year? 12. That comes out to $7,500 per month base rate. That's where your commission comes from. But see, don't let a lot of realtors, whenever I do any of my commercial leases, I always give the total amount. I never give, for example, the base rate, just to influence you, to get you, entice you to come in. I never do that. I give you everything, including the CAM, including the internal revenue taxes and everything like that. So now when you come in, you already know what the full amount is, and not that I'm just giving you, oh, it's $7,500 a month, or $3,000, or $1,500 a month. You know what I mean? When they get there, and then you tell them, oh, now you have to include the CAM, now you have to include the internal revenue taxes, they're going to get upset. Wouldn't you feel so? The majority of the realtors don't do that. This is just an opinion. I am not telling you guys that you have to do what I'm saying, okay? But I like being clear as daylight, transparency. So when you call me up, I will tell you the monthly payment is, for example, $2,800, $2,500, $7,500 total. And then when you come in and you see the location that you do like it, I'll break it down to you. I will break it down. The CAM is this much and so forth. So, so the base rate It's $7,500 plus what? CAM. Now, what is CAM? CAM is called Common Area Maintenance. This is what it costs. This is what it costs to maintain that shopping center, that shopping strip, that multifamily. It could be that mall. It could be that outlet. It could be any of those items. So you've got insurance, you've got taxes included there, you've got the common grounds, you got the sprinklers, you got the lights. They even have to put aside, because on the pavements, correct? You know, the roads, they get holes, you know, and then they have to repave it, and you know, so all of that is included in there. So the CAM, this is something you must ask. So what is the base rate? But then you got to ask what? What's the CAM? So the CAM could be $3 a square foot. It could be $6. It could be $12, $30, etc. As you get into the more expensive areas, Manhattan, Chicago, here, let me help you, Brickell, North Palm Beach, certain areas, Juneau, what do you think? The CAM's going to be a little bit higher, right? All right. En inglés. Sorry.
The pastor got those 11 churches. How can we get into?
So he'll let me know.
He will let you know.
Yeah, because we have to determine, I have to help him determine the value of those churches.
Gonna have it in MLS or no?
Yeah, we're going to put it in the MLS, yeah. Yeah, we're going to put those in the MLS. But I have to help him determine the values of those churches. And afterwards, I'll tell you guys how, we'll go over value afterwards, okay? CMAs, market analysis, we'll go over that. So let's go back to CAM. So we know it's 11,250 square feet, correct? Now you have to do $3 a square foot multiplied by 11,000, that's $33,750 per year. So take that $33,750 per year and divide it by how many months in a year? $2,800. So if the base rate is $7,500 per month and the CAM is $28,1250, what is not truly, because we're not done yet, what is the amount here is $10,312.50. But what are we missing here? Florida internal revenue sales tax. You know we have to pay Florida sales tax. Not only do we have to pay Florida sales tax, whatever city, oh, by the way, guys, do not look at the 6.5. I forgot to update it. It has gone down enormously, okay? To 2%, it's gone down enormously, all right? So please, this is nothing more than an example. Got it? Example. Forgive me, I totally forgot. I got so much stuff going on. And then I did a Spanish class, and I told everybody in the Spanish class, oh, I'm going to change this and fix it.
So how much is the rate right now?
Every city, every county is different. You can go online and find out. But Florida internal revenue is the same for the entire state of Florida, but now you got to add in the city and county taxes. So it could be a total like 3%. That's the average right now that I've been seeing throughout, all over, 3%. So it's not 6.5%. It's 3%, okay, is what it comes out to. But then, guys, it's 3% of what? Of the base rate. Okay, not of the CAM. Not of the CAM. It's 3% of the base rate. So, again, please, do not look at this. This is so off. Florida sales tax, it was at one point, the last class I did, at 5.5%. Okay, then Palm Beach County was 1%, so it total was 6.5%. Right now, the total right here is about 3%. So it's going to be what? Less than half of that. So your total monthly payment, this will be it right here. But the 3% will be only on the base rate. Got it? Not on the CAM. on the base rate, okay? So the commission's only on the base rate.
About the CAM.
No, sir, you don't get paid on CAM. And you don't get paid on Florida sales tax. Boy, you'll be in trouble on that one. Tell Florida Revenue, oh yeah, I'm making some money on you. So what's your name, sir? We have your phone number. And where do you live at? We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, go ahead, tell them. No, don't do it. You're only going to get paid on the base rate, okay?
How do you have this information, this data?
Pardon me?
How you come up with this data?
No, you asked the realtor, what is the base rate? Remember I said it here? Right there. What was your first question? Remember this one? I started the class out with this. It was the base rate. Yeah, what's the CAM? These are your questions. What should I know? It says it right there. What should I know? So that's what you need to know. Okay, that's how you come up with that. All right, triple net. Triple net's like CAM. Sometimes they'll say, okay, we have a CAM, but this is the base rate and plus triple net. Triple net's the same thing, taxes, insurance, all the whole kit and caboodle, okay? So you have to do the same, look at this, same calculation. Did you guys get that, or would you like me to go over it one more time? But you can watch this class again. You can watch it where? Through our library. You watch this class, it's recorded. You can watch it through our library.
I have a question. The commission is here.
We'll talk about commissions in a minute. I'm just telling you where you're going to get paid from. We will talk on how to do the math for the commission in a minute, okay? But I am telling you where you're going to get paid from. So far, you guys have learned where you're not going to get paid from. Tell me what they are. Florida Internal Revenue. Tell me where the other one wasn't. CAM. You're not getting paid there. Where are you getting paid at? Base rate. There you go. Question answered. Every single lease, unless you negotiate it differently, has what's called an escalation clause, that it goes up yearly by 3%, 5%, unless you negotiate it. No, there is no escalation clause. Good luck with that one. But has it happened? Yes. Many landlords, centers, management companies, and so forth, they'll say to you, okay, yeah, all right, you're giving me a really good deal. I'm going to leave it for, it's a really good deal. There's not going to be an increase in the base rate, because there also could be an increase in the CAM, because the water can go up, the dumpster can go up, the maintenance for the lawn maintenance can go up. You guys know that. There's nothing going down, at least. Do you guys know anything going down here in the U.S.? Not as far as I know. The rates haven't even gone down. I don't want to get in that one. All right, so anyway, there you go. What is the CAM again? The water, the dumpster, property sales tax, insurance, the maintenance outside, the lawn, everything. It's just everything that it takes to maintain that shopping center, okay? Now, here's something that you guys need to know when you're submitting an offer in. Can it be an all-in? That comes in when you are you know how we submit offers on an as-is contract? We submit offers on as-is contracts, right? Well, not when you're going to do a purchase or you're going to do a lease. You submit it in with an LOI. This is called a meeting of the minds. You are the listing agent, and you represent whoever it is, the investor, landlord, LLC, shopping center, whoever it is, okay? So the LOI is, look, this is my offer. Now the actual landlord, whoever it is going to look at it and is probably going to counter it or accept it. I can send in and say, okay, so the total was $10,900. I'm going to offer you I'm going to do a lease for the next, I don't know, 10 years. Okay, with a 3-year tenant option or a 5-year tenant option. I'm going to do a lease for 10 years with a 5-year tenant option. I'm going to do a lease for 40 years with a 10-year tenant option, but I want it to be all in. And my offer is $9,000 per month. That means that the landlord now has to back out what? They're going to have to back out the CAM, the internal revenue, and that's going to give them the what? The base rate. So you could always offer it. How are you going to offer it? With the letter of intent. That's what the LOI is called. LOI. We'll talk about an LOI in a minute. It's called the letter of intent. Okay? Very important that you guys know these acronyms, because when you start talking to a commercial realtor and you sound like you don't know, like you just stepped freshly out of your, I don't know, you just got your license, they're going to know that you have no experience whatsoever. And some of them don't even want to deal with you because it's called brain damage. I mean it. I've had them where I've had brokers call me up and say, Ismael, your realtor doesn't know what the hell she's doing. I'm doing everything for him. This is annoying. I mean that. I don't want to hear that. But you know, guess what? That realtor doesn't come in to classes like you guys do. Or you don't need to come in. You can watch it online. How easy is that? All right? So you need to know what you're doing, because some realtors will take offense to not wanting to pay you the commission because they feel that they're doing your job plus their job and you don't deserve the money. I'm telling you, just like that. All right? So all in could be that I could offer you, you guys are the listing agent, $3,800, covers everything. Base rate, CAM, internal revenue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All in. Why not? Why would you not, offer it? If the place has been closed down, if you've got 99% occupancy, there's a 1% vacancy there. Do you think you have a chance with all in? What if you got 50% vacancy, 30% vacancy? You got a good chance. And also ask for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I've gotten some of my tenants an entire year for build out, 8 months, 10 months for build out. That's called free rent. Now, the center might give you total free rent, the small centers, but not the big centers. The big centers are going to tell you, okay, I'm not going to charge you the base rent, okay? But you do have to pay for the CAM. But you know how much money you're saving there? And then if you look at 8 months of not paying base rent, correct? If you're not, look at it, and then you add that up, divide that by what you're actually paying, you're not really paying that base rent. You're not paying it. It's actually less because you got 10 months of free rent. That's a big savings. So you're really getting it a lot cheaper than what it looks on paper. Okay? So you guys know what all in stands for and when you should try to. Don't go into a center that is completely full to the rim, okay, and say, oh, I'm doing an all in. Don't do that. I don't think you're going to get it. But it never hurts to ask, right? What's the worst thing they can say? No. Thank you. And then you renegotiate it all over again. But you could ask for what? A couple of 2, 3, 4 months for build out, for licensing. All right? This class is actually made for Partnership Realty Realtors. I apologize to the ones that are watching. here's our information. You guys can certainly sign up with Partnership Realty, and these classes, you'll be able to have access to them. Sorry for all the other realtors from other office. But here's our information. And you guys already know that we're a one flat fee company, no fees per month. So okay, so back to our class, guys. Cap rate.